Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is well. If you haven't yet subscribed, please make sure that you click the subscribe button now. Got lots more videos coming out very soon. But first off, if you haven't yet checked out the video that I posted yesterday, please go and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description for that. It's where I've discussed my entire 118 die-cast model car collection. Some of the Auto Art signature models that you can get right now for under £200. So if you're looking at getting Auto Art models but you don't want to spend £500, £600, £700 on a signature model, please go and check out that video. Hope it is of use to you guys. But in today's video, I'm going to be doing a comparison really between BBR models. So on the turntable, I've got BBR models Ferrari 458 Speciale Aperta. And then I've also got MR models, Ferrari 488 Pista. Now, if you guys, if you're new to the hobby or new to model cars, BBR and MR models are pretty much the pinnacle in terms of high-end resin sealed model cars. They make model cars of Ferraris, Bugattis, Lamborghinis, Paganis, and predominantly they are all sealed models, which means nothing opens on these model cars. Now, I know recently BBR have started to make some die-cast models like the Ferrari Aperta, which I still think is up for sale right now on their website, but predominantly they just make sealed resin model cars. So both of these models, nothing opens on them. But I'm going to be comparing the two and seeing which one I think is best in terms of the brand and the detail. Now, I'd love to hear from obviously all you guys in the comments about which one you prefer, which brand you prefer, and let me know, as I say, in the comments. But let's start off with some of the packaging that these model cars come with, and we'll take out the models and do a review on them both. So this is the MR Collection Models box, which is a very nice kind of presentation box, finished obviously in Ferrari red. You've got the MR Models logo in the bottom corner, and then you've got the Ferrari badge on the top corner. Now I've also got models from MR that are Lamborghini and Bugatti, and they just put different badges on there, but it's also a nice touch. And then if I spin the box around, you've got the model, so the 488 Pista sticker, and then you've got the 118 scale. So I think, in terms of a presentation box, it's very, very nice. Definitely kind of tells you that the model's high end. I like the way it's all presented. Very, very nice from MR. And then on the other side, you've also got handmade, which again is a nice touch. And then I've also got the BBR box as well, which is very, very similar. But I would say it hasn't got the Ferrari badge on it, but no big deal. And then on the side as well, you've also got luxury models from Italy. And then you've got, again, like MR, you've got the model on the side, which is very, very useful because all of the Ferrari boxes look the same. So it's always good to have a sticker on them to tell you which one's which. And then if I spin the box around, you've got scale 118 on the bottom. And on the other side, you've also got the BBR logos as well. So two very, very nice boxes. Definitely tells you that the model's high end before you've even opened up the boxes on both of them. But what I would suggest is that from MR, you always get a certificate of authenticity, which is a very, very nice touch. Now, if you open up the booklet, it tells you a little bit about the model, how to look after it, how to clean it, how to store it, and just some useful tips. But then it also tells you about the limited series of the model. So the 488 Pista that I've got is the first one out of 49 pieces finished in that color specification, which is always a very, very nice, nice touch. And I always think these hold value, because if I saw one on eBay that I wanted to get and it didn't have a booklet, it would definitely put me off buying the model, because I think all the paperwork and all the certificates of authenticity that you get is also very, very valuable to have with the model. So it's a really nice touch. And on the front cover, it's got the model code, the date of inspection, and who it was checked by at the factory, all signed off. So it's a really, really nice personal touch from MR Collection Models, which you get with all of their models. And yeah, it's something that I really like. whereas on the BBR one you don't get that. I've had it on maybe 1 or 2, I think, but it's not up to the same level as MR. So definitely would, I would suggest BBR to kind of do the same thing. I just think it adds a very nice touch. But let's get back to the models and see which one I think is the better one out of the two. So these are both limited models from their respective brands. Now the 488 Pista is very limited, as I've just shown you guys, to 49 pieces. Now it's 49 pieces in each of the different color specs, and there are about 5 or 6 different color specs you could choose from at the time. And I picked the yellow version, which is the triple layer yellow, which is a special color that Ferrari do, with the black and grey stripe running across the entire length of the car, with the carbon fiber wheels as well. So I think it's a really cool spec. I do like a yellow Ferrari. I've got a few of them, and I wanted to get it as close as possible to the 458, which I've got from BBR. Again, finished in the same special yellow, the triple layer yellow, but this one's got the NART stripe. North America Racing Team, I believe is what it stands for, which is just the white and the blue stripe running again across the whole length of the model car. I think it does look great with the stripe across the models. Definitely prefer the 488 with a stripe. I know you can get it as a flat color, but I think the stripe makes it look a little bit more track focused, which is what the car is. Now again, the 458 is limited to 149 pieces, which is 100 more than the MR version, but nevertheless this one and the 488 are still very rare pieces. I've struggled to find an example of this model on eBay over the last year or so, and I think when they do come up they are around maybe £600 or £700. Very rare, very exclusive model, and you don't see many of them coming up for sale. Same with the 488. I think I've seen maybe a few more come up for sale. Doesn't have to be in the same color spec, but I have seen a couple more, and they are still hovering around the same prices. So in terms of investments for both of these cars have done pretty well. I think the Speciale Apertas kind of held up a little bit better, just because I've had it slightly longer than the 488. But I think they definitely hold their value due to their rarity, their limited models, and they're quite desirable pieces in terms of the Ferrari collection. If you're a Ferrari collector, you've got to have their last naturally aspirated V8 engine in your collection, and you've also got to have one of their most track focused cars that they've ever made. So 2 really great cars to have in the collection. So let's start off with some of the detail here. Now I've done in-depth reviews on both of these models, but it's just a quick review over them just to see which one I would prefer and which one maybe I would suggest going forward with. So I've never been disappointed with the BBR model. I think even though these two are actually in the same color that was listed on the website, there's slight differences. So if I zoom in on the 458, the paintwork I think is a little bit darker, a little bit deeper than the 488, which is slightly more brighter. I hope you guys can just about see that, a little bit more of a paler yellow, but still very nice. It's got a very nice depth to the paintwork, and it's got a nice metallic finish as well, just like the Ferrari 458. I think overall I prefer the 458. I think the paintwork's just a little bit more realistic, and I think the depth of the paint is a lot better. But again, it's very hard to choose between the two, because both of these manufacturers make exquisite exteriors. It's just absolutely flawless in terms of their paint applications as well. So yeah, really hard to pick between the two. But let's start at the front end. Now again, as you would expect from both of these manufacturers, all of the openings here are covered in the black mesh. So all of the openings at the front of the 458, just at the top as well, where the bonnet scoop is, all covered in mesh. You've got a really nice Ferrari badge right at the front there, which sticks out really nice. And then you've got the other Ferrari badge right at the bottom. And what I would say is, I hope you guys can see that if I move my light around a little bit, all of the panels around the mesh are all finished in blue carbon fiber to match the blue knot stripe running across the top of it, which is a really nice touch. And as we move around to the interior as well, you can just about see the blue carbon that's in the interior. So BBR have done a great job replicating the blue touches throughout the whole model. And you also see the front parking sensors as well, which is a nice touch. And the whole front end of the model is just exceptional in terms of the detail that BBR have gone to. Very, very same as the 488. Now again, you know, in terms of the detail here, it's exquisite. Instead of blue carbon on the 458, you've got the black carbon on the 488, and then which I think matches the black stripe running across the model. Now I don't think the badge is quite as nice as the 458. It doesn't stand out. Hasn't got that 3D effect, but again, it's a nice touch from MR. And the lights look fairly realistic, and I think the kind of the whole front end of the 488 is a lot more aggressive than the 458. You can see the enlarged splitter, the wider air intakes at the front, just to get more air into the car over the discs. But again, very, very highly detailed over the front end, and really good job from MR. So I think, you know, in terms of front end details, I think BBR is just a little bit ahead of MR. And I think also another point to mention is in terms of quality control issues. Now again, I've owned several BBR models and MR collection models over the last 5-6 years. I've never really had a problem with BBR models. Just one issue with I believe my Ferrari LaFerrari. It was missing a grille on the driver's side, and some of the stickers started to flake off over time. But again, it wasn't a major big deal. I mean, I've owned about 15 BBR models, and I think overall their quality control is very, very high. I think it's a lot higher than MR collection models. Now, I've owned 6 over the last 5 years, and I've not really had an issue with any of them. But I have heard from other collectors that they've experienced issues with MR over the time. And I think they've got their QC a lot better now. But again, I've not experienced any issues, so I can't speak on anybody else's behalf. So I would peg MR collection models in terms of their quality control better than BBR over my ownership. And I wouldn't hesitate buying another model car from either manufacturer moving forward. I think another important mention is the bases that these cars are sitting on. Now again, all of these BBR models and MR collection models, they come with some really nice bases. So typically on MR, you've got the make of the model at the front. So you can see the 488 Pista sitting on a very nice carbon fiber base with red stitching. And then you've got the MR collections badge right at the end. And then you've got the Ferrari badge right on the other side as well. Now again, you don't have to pay anything extra for the base or the plexiglass cover. That comes as standard with the price, and it's exactly the same with the BBR version as well. So it comes with a very nice red base with the BBR logo embossed on the side, and then you've got the make of the model running down the side, 458 Speciale A, with the Ferrari badge right at the back as well. So very, very similar bases. I think they're both very, very nice. You know, it definitely looks very realistic in terms of the presentation of the base is very nice as well. So they both do very, very good jobs with that. But let's kind of take a look at some of the interior and spin the models round and show you guys some more detail. So as we spin the models round, you can definitely start to see some of the more touches that BBR have done in terms of their blue carbon fiber work. So you can see there just at the top of the driver's side, you can see the blue touches and the carbon fiber finish. And the interior on this model is absolutely fantastic. So as you can see, all of those blue carbon fiber touches I love how the seats are done as well, with the matching yellow stitching and the yellow headrests. Very, very nice work from BBR, and I'll show you guys some more detail of that shortly. In terms of the wheels, again, very, very similar on both models. They both do a great job replicating the whole wheel design and the calipers and the discs. You can see on the BBR version that the calipers are finished in blue with the Ferrari text running down. You can see the Ferrari badge as the center caps as well, and again, very nice wheel design. And you can see the tyre valve on the wheels as well, which is a nice touch that you don't tend to see on many high-end models. So it's a nice thing that BBR have done, and the whole discs look very realistic as well, along with the calipers. So it's a really nice touch by BBR. Moving across to the MR version. Now again, very, very similar in terms of detail here. It'd be very difficult to pick between the two. I think in terms of caliper detail, I think MR have kind of just edged it there. You can see the calipers very, very clearly, very realistic as well in terms of their design and shapes. The Ferrari badge is running just across the caliper. The Ferrari text finished in black against that yellow caliper, which looks nice. Now these wheels are finished in a carbon fiber pattern, which I quite like, with the Ferrari badge as a center cap with the multi-spoke wheels. The calipers look very, very nice as well. Now I can't see any tire valve caps anywhere on the wheel, which is a little bit of a letdown. There's really no excuse there for not having one. BBR have done one, so I think MR cut a little corner there, unless I am mistaken, but I definitely can't see one on the wheels. But again, you know, I think overall it's a great design, very realistic. You can see all of the little details here which add up and make it look, you know, outstanding in terms of the detail that they've got. But I think again BBR have just edged it there in terms of their detail there with the tire valve caps on all four wheels, which again, you know, there's no excuse to not have one on the MR collection models. So they cost the same, so I don't see why they wouldn't have one. Next, coming on to the kind of side detail here. Now again, this will be quite close between the two, but you can see the Ferrari badge on the side with the indicator stalks. You've got the door locks as well, which is a nice touch. Exactly the same on the MR version model. So you've got the door handle, and then just below you've got the door locks as well. You've got the Ferrari badge, which is a very, very nice badge, a nice touch by MR. And then all of these side skirts are finished in carbon fiber, which also matches everything else on the model as well, like the air intakes, the side skirts, the front splitter, the rear diffuser, all finished in carbon fiber, which looks amazing. And then coming on to the rear wheels, again exactly the same in terms of detail here. You can just about see how those calipers are positioned, really nicely done by MR. Again, the whole wheel design is very nice, and you've got the Ferrari text running down the calipers. Again, you know, you can't fault anything else on the MR model other than the tire valve caps. But let's move on to the rear end of the models now, and to see some of the details there. Now, also what I like about BBR is that they've got the limited numbers on the base as well, which is nice. But moving on to the rear, now you can see a bit more of that blue carbon fiber weave on that rear diffuser. Now on the 458, it's got a massive, very aggressive rear diffuser, very similar to the 488. You've got the twin exhausts, which look really nice. And then obviously all of the grills there as well, with the 458 Speciale badge there as well. Now obviously you can't see any engine detail, but what I will show you from this angle is a bit more of that interior detail there. You can see how the back of the seats as well have got that blue carbon fiber finish. You've got that finish on the center dash as well, and that driver zone is absolutely phenomenal in terms of detail. You've got a very detailed footwell for both driver and passenger, and some of the detail there in the finishes with the Alcantara and all the nice materials that BBR use is really outstanding. That steering wheel is truly a work of art in terms of detail that they've done. Now if I move across to MR models as a direct comparison, Now you can see, in terms of the details here, it's again amazing. Everything black that you see is finished in carbon fiber. Massive rear diffuser, and it's definitely wider than the 458. Then you've got the Formula One style reverse light or brake light. I think it doubles up as both. Again, you've got the twin exhausts, and again, all of that is finished in carbon fiber in terms of that rear diffuser. Again, it is a bit more aggressive, so you've got a bit more of an angle on that spoiler. It's a lot more active than the 458, but again, I think it'd be very difficult to pick between the two here. And what I can show you again from this angle is a bit of that engine detail that they show you. So even though this is a sealed resin model, you can see the depth to that engine. It goes really far down. You can see a lot of detail there in terms of that what MR have kind of left exposed. Really nice touches there, and everything there that you can see. All of the caps, it's got the Ferrari badge on. I like all of the red trim as well around the engine, and everything around is finished in carbon fiber. Then you've got the grills on either side as well for cooling as well, but all very nice touches. And then just around the rear lights, you've got all the carbon fiber touches. Again, really nicely done by MR, and I think they really do a very good job replicating all of that detail. And I definitely would hand it to them in terms of detail around the rear end of the model. They've really done an amazing job. It looks so realistic. But I mean, let's spin them both round again and show you guys some bit more detail and do a quick summary of the model. So I think for me overall, I think I would just about edge BBR over the MR models on this particular occasion. I think they've both done an amazing job replicating these models, and they are both fantastic pieces of art in my eyes. They are very highly detailed, exquisitely made, and the models that are the bases as well are amazing. But I think BBR have just hit a bit more in terms of the detail there. All of the little touches that they've done have really added up and made them slightly better than the MR models. I'll still be definitely buying models from both manufacturers moving forward. I think they're the best that you can buy. I think they've really done a very good job over the last few years in terms of their QC in both brands. I've had very little issues. I know that's been a sticking point with many collectors out there. But yeah, I think BBR are very consistent, very good. I think on this occasion, they've just edged it ahead of MR models. But they're both incredible. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments as well. Please let me know what you guys think, which one you would go for. It doesn't have to be the cars, but the brands. I mean, any thoughts, any experiences that you've had, please share all in the comments below. And I'll see you guys very soon for my midweek video. Yeah, please subscribe, please share the video, please hear your opinions in the comments, and I'll see you guys very soon for more videos to come. Cheers, bye.